Hello and good evening students, and welcome back to Global Online Platform. This is Chandni Swarnkar, and today we are going to cover 32 questions so that we can cover a single paper, okay, a booklet A of 2020 Maharashtra State paper. Now, you can get my lectures at 9 p.m. on a daily basis, but before diving into the video, let me share that there is a great opportunity to prepare smartly for the April 2024 Maharashtra Set. Global Online is offering a comprehensive English literature course. You'll have access to video lectures that will explain concepts using short and effective methods. The course also provides downloadable PDF notes for your convenience. Additionally, you'll get mock tests that stimulate real exam conditions, boosting your final preparation. Okay. To learn more, reach out the provided contact number here. Okay. Now, if you want to watch the free videos, first download the Global Online app. Once you are in, head to the store section. Okay, there you will find details of all the courses. Use the search bar to directly type in the course name and you'll see an overview along with fees for the duration. Click on the content section. Right here, you can click on the content section and you'll find unit-wise folders. In each unit, you'll get theory lectures, mock tests, MCQs, evaluation, notes. So no need for extra reading. Now, if you decide to join the paid course, you'll also be added to a WhatsApp group. In that group, you'll receive PDF for its sessions along with the PDF videos links. It's a great way to stay connected and get additional resources. So happy learning with me, of course. Now, moving on to question number 61. I have discussed this question a lot of times. Several times I've discussed this. Okay, so lang and parole are terms used by. So, if you don't know what is lang, what is parole, do watch my previous lectures. Okay, so lang and parole is of course, it's a term that was given by a theorist and in a particular work, course in a general linguistic 1916. So who is the author? Ronald Barthes, basically, Ferdinand de Saussure, Jacques Lacan, or Foucault, Ferdinand de Foucault. Okay, this is Foucault. Basically, Ferdinand de Saussure, it is Ferdinand de Saussure, and this is Michel Foucault. Okay, so who's the writer? You need to tell. Of course, course in general linguistics was written by Ferdinand de Saussure. The second one is the correct answer. Who gave lang and parole terms? Okay. Moving on to question number 62. Choose the correct options which matches the critic. Like in column A, you are going to get critics, and in column B, you'll get concept and theories. Okay, so you have to match. Correct matches you need to do. Now, so the first writer is Derrida. Let me read out the theories or concepts here. Hybridity. Who gave hybridity? Who? H for hybridity, H for homibhava. Homike bhava. Okay. So homike bhava is associated with what? Hybridity. Okay. So this is A. Moving on to deconstruction. D for deconstruction and D for Derrida, Jacques Derrida. So it will go with, of course, it's not a way to match it, but I know the theory, that is why I'm matching it. Okay, B. Now, orientation. Who gave orientation? Who is associated with orientation? Edward said. Okay, and of course the last will go with structuralism, because I have already discussed that Ferdinand de Saussure gave a concept, lang and parole, that is under structuralism. Okay, so this will go with D. I, B, 2, D, 3, A, and 4, C. This is the correct match. Okay, moving on to question number 63. Wait a minute. The word womanist was used by. The word feminist is used by. The options are Zora Neale Hurston, B. Alice Walker, C. Toni Morrison, D. Harriet Beecher Stowe. Who is the one? Womanist. The term is womanist. Who used it? Alice Walker. W for Walker, W for womanist. Do remember in such a manner. Moving on to question number 64. The artist is once more in rudiments and introvert, not for removed from neurosis. Who wrote these lines? The artist is once more in rudiments and introvert, not for removed from neurosis. Who wrote these lines? Who wrote these lines? The options are Kristeva, Julia Kristeva, Carl Jung, Jacques Lacan, and Sigmund Freud. Who is the one? Who wrote these lines? Sigmund Freud is the one who wrote it. Okay, the fourth one is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 65. The line, there's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow, is from. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow is from. I need to tell you this. This is from Hamlet. This is a line from a play written by Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. Of course, these are all the plays is associated with William Shakespeare, but the correct answer is Hamlet. Moving on to question number 66. Whom did John Keats regard as the prime example of negative capability? Okay, he actually talked about it in a very good way, and you really need to understand. I have discussed this in my lectures, in previous lectures. You can go Global Online UGC Net Preparation, you can find all the lectures there. The options are Lord Byron, John Milton, William Wordsworth, and William Shakespeare. Who is the one? Whom did John Keats regard as the prime example of negative capability? So the correct answer is William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is a prime example of negative capability according to John Keats. Moving on to question number 67. What is Hellenism? It is what it is. First option, love for Greek art, literature and culture, or the world of hell. C, Gothic culture and art. D, a supernatural element. Which is the correct answer? Which one? What is Hellenism? It's love for Greek art, literature and culture. The first one is the correct answer. Okay. Moving on to question number 68. The pilgrims of Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales were on the way to the shrine of. Like when? Of course, you know that Geoffrey Chaucer wrote a work, The Canterbury Tales, and the pilgrims were going somewhere. Right? So the question is asking where they were going. Options are St. Augustine, Our Lady of Cavison, Thomas Becket's Shrine, or Our Lady Undercroft. They were going to Thomas Becket's Shrine. The third one is the correct answer. Do remember. Even they'll ask you about how many pilgrims were there, which character does what. Okay. Sometimes the significance of a particular character you will also going to have in your question bank. No, not a question bank, of a sheet, question sheet. Okay. Moving on to question number 69. The Defense of Poesy is written by, I have discussed this so many times. Who wrote the Defense of Poesy? Edmund Spencer, or Sir Philip Sidney, or Thomas Nash, or Christopher Marlowe? Who wrote it? Yes. I think you know. You guys know it. Sir Philip Sidney is the one. And I have already discussed the publishing year and some of the details of this particular work. So I will not going to do that again. Question number 70. In a game at chess written by Thomas Middleton, the white pieces represent. In a game of chess written by Thomas Middleton, the white pieces represent what? First option, the English. Second, the Spaniards. C, the French, or D, the German? Which is the correct answer? White pieces represent what? The English. Okay, do remember this. Moving on to question number 71. The author of the biography Life of Johnson, which was published in 1791, is? The options are Edward Gibbon, Oliver Goldsmith, James Boswell, and Sheridan. Who is the one who wrote the biography of Life of Johnson? Who wrote it? James Boswell. That sounds like a boss. So, James Boswell wrote it. Okay. Moving on to question number 72. What is the name of the club frequented by writers like Edison and Steele? This question has been dropped by the UGC or Maharashtra State, basically. I need to tell you. So, we cannot discuss this question. Okay. Moving on to question number 73. Which of the following poems is not written by John Donne? You need to find out. For that, you need to know the works of John Donne, right? So, the options are the Apparition, Ecstasy, the Altar, and the Bet. Which one is the correct answer? Which is a poem that is not written by John Donne? The Altar. The Altar is basically written by George Herbert. And do enjoy the song. Okay. Moving on to question number 74. What is rhyme royale? What is rhyme royale? The options are, it is a 7-line iambic pentameter stanza rhyming A, B, B, C, C. Second, it is a 6-line because it's a 7-line basically. Rhyme royale always have 7 lines. So there is only one option includes 7 lines. So we will consider this one. This is the correct answer. Okay. And that is how you are going to find the correct answer without wasting your precious time in the exam hall. Okay. Moving on to question number 75. The essential qualities of a researcher are: first, systematization or theorizing of knowledge. Of course, system or systematic manner is very important, and theorizing is also very important. Spirit of free inquiry, of course, you need to have that. Reliance on observation and evidence, of course, you need to give evidence, because without evidence and without observation, your research will not going to work. So we'll say that this all the above option is the correct answer. Okay. Moving on to question number 76. A volume of verse entitled Tender Only to One is authored by. Tender Only to One is authored by. The options are Kirol and Duffy, Derek Mahon, C. Stevie Smith, D. Paul Muldoon. Who wrote Tender Only to One? Stevie Smith is the one who wrote Tender Only to One. Okay, do remember that. You don't need to do anything else. Identify the correct sequence of research steps. So the first step is what? Selection of a topic, right? So selection of a topic includes first this, but not this. So we'll exclude this option. Okay. Then after selecting a topic, what we do? We review. Literature review we do, right? So of course it considers literature review. It also considers literature review in the second place. But this is the data collection. If you're not reviewing, how can you collect your data? Okay. So this is also going to exclude. Then data collection. What we do, we collect data. After reviewing our literature, we collect data. Then we interpret whatever we find, right? So that actually includes, the first option includes data collection, then interpretation of findings. The other option includes review of literature. After the option basically is saying that interpretation of findings is before data collection, and that is not correct. The option number 1 is the correct answer. Okay, moving on to question number 78. Now, vowels are produced with a stricture of, so you only need to remember this. Okay, nasal sound, these are the things that you need to know. So the options are open approximation, close approximation, open and close approximation at the same time. I'm sorry for the fumbling. Without any approximation. So there is approximation, but there is open approximation. Vowels are produced with a structure of open approximation. Okay, the first one is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 79. Research ethics do not include. What it does not include? So the options are subjectivity. Of course, it will drop because subjectivity, research and subjectivity cannot go hand in hand. Okay, you cannot be subjective with your research. So objectivity, of course, it will include integrity, honesty. These are the correct options, but the question is asking basically we do not include. What we do not include? So subjectivity we do not include. Moving on to question number 80. Which poems by T.S. Eliot begins with the lines, I don't know much about gods, but I think that the river is a strong brown god, sullen, untamed and untractable. Okay, I don't know much about gods, but I think that the river is a strong brown god, sullen, untamed and untractable. T.S. Eliot wrote this line, but you need to tell that in which poem you will find these lines, or which poem does begin with these lines. The Dry Salvages, The Hollow Man, hollow basically, Ash Wednesday and Four Quartets. Which is the correct option? The options are, these are the options. So the first option, The Dry Salvages, begins with the lines, I don't know much about gods, but I think that the river is a strong brown god, sullen, untamed and intractable. Okay, so the first one is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 81. Who among the following is a dramatist? Who among the following is a dramatist? Whether it's Edgar Wallace or Harcourt Williams or Dorothy Sayers or J.C. Powys. Who is the dramatist here? Edgar Wallace is the dramatist. Okay, Edgar Wallace is the dramatist. The first one is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 82. Derek Walcott in his poem Far Cry from Africa refers to which tribes? Okay, so you need to know that Far Cry from Africa poem is a very nice poem and you can read it, and it's a very simple poem. You can read it out. It will not take you a lot of time, but you can read it. The options are Sonja, Kikuyu, this sounds so cute, Kaba or Embu. Which is the tribe? Kikuyu, okay, is the correct option here. Moving on to question number 83. Tagore's Gitanjali reveals not. What it does not reveal? Options are his deep roots in the ancient Indian traditions, B. a personal quest for the divine, C. an outcome of his ecstasy, D. a radical view of society. What it does not reveal? His deep roots in the ancient Indian tradition, of course it reveals that. A personal quest for the divine, of course it reveals that. An outcome of his ecstasy, of course it do include that. But a radical view of society will not going to see in Gitanjali, will never going to see that. So the fourth one is the correct option. Okay, moving on to question number 84. The Drum Dancer is a play by. See, there is a play, The Drum Dance. Okay, but there is no such play, The Drum Dancer, because this question has been dropped. And whenever you search The Drum Dancer, you'll find sometimes Asif Karam Bhoy, sometimes Mahesh Elkanchua. Okay, so it will be very confusing. So it actually, basically it was dropped, so no need to worry about it. Moving on to question number 85. In Halliday's classification of the functions of language, language used for learning and exploring the environment is termed as. In Halliday's classification of the functions of language, language used for learning and exploring the environment is termed as representational, imaginative, interactional, or heuristic. Which is the correct option? Heuristic is the correct option. Okay, heuristic is the correct option, D. Moving on to question number 86. Which of the following statements is not correct? Which of the following statements is not correct? The first, Creole is a language that has developed from a mixture of languages and become the main language in a particular place. Not true. Okay, it's not true. A Creole is a person descended from the Europeans who first settled in the West Indies or the southern United States of America. It's also not true. A Creole is a standard language used in official and formal situations by governments in India, in media, and in education. Let me read the last one. A Creole is a person of mixed African and European race who lives in the West Indies and speaks a Creole. Of course not, it's not true, yeah. Okay, third one is the correct option. Here you can read this. Okay, moving on to question number 87. Who does Sidney call the right popular philosopher? Like Sidney calls somebody the right popular philosopher, who is the one. The options are lawyer, poet, historian, and mathematician. Lawyer, poet, historian, and mathematician. Who is the correct answer? Which is the basically correct answer? The poet, the right popular philosopher. Okay, the B is the correct option. Moving on to question number 88. In the chapter Historical Criticism, N. Fry, basically Northern Fry, represents the theory of modes. Okay, this is the correct option. I was very excited to tell you this. Modes is the correct option. Moving on to question number 89. Which critic theorized the act of reading by foregrounding the concepts of interpretive communities? Which critic theorized the act of reading by foregrounding the concepts of interpretive communities? Okay, so the options are Stanley Fish, Kenneth Brooks, Ellen Tate, and John Crow Ransom. John Crow Ransom. Who is the one? Who is the person? Stanley Fish was the one. Okay, and I have discussed this in my previous lectures. You can go and watch it. How many times do I need to tell you this? Okay, question number 90. Which one among the following statements is not true in the context of Marxist criticism? Option: it tries to locate a text in its historical context. This is basically tries to locate a text in its historical context. Okay. First option, it makes ideological analysis. Second option, C, it argues that the author is autonomous, independent of history. And D, it subscribes to dialectical materialism. What actually Marxist criticism does and which is not true, you need to find out. Which one is the incorrect one? C, it argues that the author is autonomous and independent of history. Marxist criticism does not say that. Okay, C is the correct option. Moving on to question number 91. The letters of which English poet have been described by T.S. Eliot as certainly the most notable and most important ever written by any English poet. Certainly the most notable and most important ever written writer, basically. Written by any English poet. Which one is the correct option here? You can read the options. S.T. Coleridge, Lord Byron, Sir Walter Scott, and John Keats. Think about it. Who is the one? John Keats is the one. Okay, so D, option number D is the correct answer. Moving on to question number 92 and the last one. Though Shakespeare is an Elizabethan playwright, some of his plays were performed for the first time in the Jacobean period. Which of the following plays was performed after 1603? For this type of question, you need to know the publishing year of the Shakespeare's plays, right? So do remember that, do focus there. Okay, the Comedy of Errors, the first option. Second option, The Merchant of Venice. C, Macbeth. And D, The Taming of the Shrew. Which is the correct option? So the only option we have is Macbeth. That was first performed in 1606. Okay, so after 1603. So this is the correct option. Now we have completed today's lecture. We'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much. And I hope you are doing well.